The cobbles are about to be rocked to their absolute core, and honestly, nothing will ever be the same after this week. We are talking about a jaw-dropping garage showdown that ends with a terrifying, life-altering bang. Kevin Webster is pushed to his absolute limit when he uncovers some deeply unsettling footage, leading to a standoff that goes horribly wrong. Meanwhile, Maria's world is crumbling as she suspects Gary is crossing the line into secret intimacy with Sarah Platt. Add in a shocking surprise proposal and a massive cast exit, and you will not want to look away. Before we dive into all the spicy details of this explosive drama, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to CoronationST Update. We bring you the most trusted, piping hot tea from the street every single week, so join the family and never miss a twist. Let's get right into the thick of it with Kevin Webster. Things at the garage have been incredibly tense, but no one could have predicted just how bad it was about to get. Kevin has been dealing with a lot of stress lately, but when he decides to review the security cameras, his blood runs absolutely cold. The footage clearly shows Carl sneaking around and deliberately tampering with Kevin's vehicle. This isn't just a prank. This is someone messing with his livelihood and his safety. Kevin is not the type to just let something like this slide, so he completely sees red. He tracks Carl down, and the confrontation at the garage escalates faster than anyone could have anticipated. This isn't just a shouting match. The energy is highly volatile. Carl, realizing he is backed into a corner, panics. In a terrifying twist, Carl reveals he is carrying a highly dangerous piece of hardware. The standoff reaches a boiling point, and in the chaos of the struggle, the device accidentally goes off. That loud, echoing bang is going to change the trajectory of several lives on the street forever. We don't want to see anyone face an untimely ending, but the stakes here are unimaginable. The aftermath of this mistake will bring intense police scrutiny, and you can bet that some serious accusations surfaced as the authorities try to piece together what exactly went down behind those closed garage doors. While Kevin is dealing with the fallout of that terrifying hardware mishap, Maria Connor is fighting a deeply emotional battle of her own. We all know Gary has a very complicated past, and Maria has spent years trying to build a solid, trusting foundation with him. But lately, Gary has been acting incredibly shady. He is distant, his excuses aren't adding up, and Maria's intuition is screaming that something is terribly wrong. Her worst fears start pointing in one very specific direction, and that direction is Sarah Platt. Gary and Sarah have a long, incredibly messy history, and the chemistry between them has always been a lingering dark cloud for Maria. She begins to heavily suspect that Gary and Sarah are sneaking around, engaging in secret intimacy behind her back. Every look Gary gives his phone, every time he steps out for an unexplained errand, Maria feels her heart shatter just a little bit more. Is she just being paranoid, or is Gary really risking his entire marriage for a forbidden, sensual reunion with his ex? The tension in the Connor household is thick enough to cut with a knife, and when Maria finally decides to confront Gary, the explosion of emotions is going to be incredibly intense. Taking a slight breather from the heavy heartbreak, there is actually some romance blooming on the cobbles, though knowing this street, it probably won't go off without a hitch. Kit Green has been meticulously planning a massive surprise. He has decided it is time to put a ring on it, and is gearing up for a highly emotional marriage proposal. Kit has been running around trying to keep everything tightly under wraps, coordinating the perfect moment to pop the question. But secrets are virtually impossible to keep in this neighborhood. The build-up to this proposal is full of sweet, nerve-wracking moments, but viewers will be on the edge of their seats wondering if the big question will actually be answered with a yes, or if some classic soap opera drama will swoop in to ruin the magical moment. Down the street, the younger crowd is finding themselves in some incredibly deep water. A few of the local teens have been hanging around the wrong crowd, and what started as minor rebellion is quickly spiraling into a dangerous situation with a sketchy local street group. These kids are getting tangled up in activities that could ruin their futures, and the adults are completely oblivious to the danger lurking right under their noses. If they don't find a way out of this sketchy network soon, they could be facing life-altering consequences. On a much brighter note for the younger generation, Betsy Swain is about to get the opportunity of a lifetime. After grinding away and trying to find her path, Betsy is handed a massive career break in the fashion industry. This storyline is a fantastic breath of fresh air, showing Betsy stepping into her power and navigating the fast-paced, highly competitive world of fashion. It is going to be incredibly exciting to watch her style evolve and see how she handles the immense pressure of her new glamorous gig. But as one star rises, another is sadly packing her bags. We have official confirmation that the incredibly talented Claire Sweeney will be departing the show. Her character, Cassie Plummer, has brought so much chaotic energy, drama, and complex family dynamics to the screen. From her strained relationship with Tyrone to her constant battling with Evelyn, Cassie has been a whirlwind of a character. However, Claire Sweeney is stepping away from the television cameras to pursue a massive opportunity in a stage production. The writers have crafted a very emotional and fitting exit for Cassie, tying up her current messy storylines while leaving just enough of a door open for a potential return down the line. Her absence will definitely leave a huge void in the household, and Evelyn might actually find herself missing the very woman she constantly bickered with. The sheer amount of drama packed into these upcoming episodes is absolutely mind-blowing. From that dangerous, accidental bang at the garage to Maria's crushing suspicions of infidelity, the writers are not holding back one bit. What do you guys think will happen to Kevin and Carl after that massive mistake? And do you believe Gary is actually crossing the line with Sarah? Or is Maria letting her past insecurities get the better of her? The tension in the room is so thick you could practically cut it with a knife. And let me tell you, things are about to go terribly, terribly wrong. We find Ronnie, Kevin and Carl locked in an absolutely terrifying standoff, and the stakes have never been higher. Ronnie stands firm, blocking the exit and declaring that absolutely nobody is moving a single inch until they find a resolution to this chaotic mess. But the real problem is the dangerous, heavy piece of hardware sitting right there in plain sight. Kevin, entirely convinced that the device is nothing more than a harmless replica, makes a highly impulsive and dangerous move. We bring you the most trusted, exclusive tea from the Cobbles every single week, so join the family and never miss a single dramatic twist. So, Kevin reaches out, grabs the device, and points it directly at Carl. Ronnie's face instantly drops into a mask of pure horror, because he knows this is no toy. In a desperate bid to prevent a tragedy, Ronnie lunges forward, trying to wrestle the dangerous item right out of Kevin's hands. A chaotic struggle ensues, and in the blink of an eye, the absolute unthinkable happens. The device goes off with a deafening, echoing bang that stops everyone dead in their tracks. The men freeze, their expressions turning to sheer terror as the dust settles. The burning question on everyone's mind right now is whether that flying piece of lead has struck one of them. We are left on the edge of our seats, wondering if someone is about to face severe medical trauma, or worse, if this reckless moment will lead to a devastating end. While the echo of that terrifying mistake is still ringing in our ears, the drama for Carl is far from over. Later on, Fiona absolutely corners him, and she is not playing games. She ruthlessly spells it out for Carl, giving him exactly 1 week to follow her strict demands. If he fails to deliver, she promises to make his life completely unlivable. It is a chilling ultimatum, but what Fiona and Carl don't realise is that they are not alone. Debbie, who has ears everywhere on this street, overhears the entire shadowy exchange. Furious and refusing to be kept in the dark, Debbie completely turns on Carl the second Fiona is gone, demanding a full explanation for the shady mess he has brought to her doorstep. Carl is officially running out of places to hide, and the walls are closing in fast. Meanwhile, out on the street, things take a wild turn when Brody finds himself backed into a very uncomfortable corner by a group of local troublemakers. Just when it looks like Brody is about to be in a highly stressful situation, the ultimate rescue squad arrives. In a moment of pure matriarchal power, Debbie, Sally, Bernie, Glenda and Christina come marching down the pavement. This fierce group of women absolutely takes charge, sending the local scallies packing before things can escalate any further. It is a fantastic moment of triumph, but it leaves behind a very funny, yet anxiety-inducing situation back at the Rovers. Dev and Tim are sitting in the pub, nervously staring at their phones. They are completely panicking because they have heard absolutely nothing from their wives all day. Every message they send goes completely unanswered, and the husbands are starting to fear the absolute worst. Will Brody eventually make his way to the pub and put these panicked husbands out of their misery, or will he let them sweat it out just a little bit longer? Taking a pivot to some major life changes, Betsy has some absolutely massive news, but it comes with a heavy emotional cost. She pulls Lauren aside and nervously reveals that she has officially been offered a highly coveted place at the London College of Fashion. This is a dream come true, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But Betsy is completely torn. Her heart is heavy with the worry of leaving Dylan behind. How is he going to react to the news that she might be packing her bags and moving away? Even more stressful, Betsy admits that she hasn't even worked up the courage to break the news to her mum yet. You just know that conversation is going to be an emotional roller coaster, and we can only hope she will be met with support rather than friction. Speaking of emotional roller coasters, the romantic entanglements on the street are reaching a fever pitch. Todd pulls Sarah aside for a very serious reality check. He warns her that Maria is deeply suspicious and genuinely believes that Sarah is engaging in secret, forbidden intimacy with Gary. Maria is connecting the dots, and she is convinced an affair is happening right under her nose. Todd's warning puts Sarah in a massive bind. Will she finally come clean about what has really been going on, or will she double down on the secrets? To make matters infinitely more complicated, Kit is completely oblivious to this brewing storm. At the exact same time Todd is warning Sarah, Kit is pulling Bethany aside to confide his deepest secret. He tells Bethany that he is seriously planning to ask Sarah to marry him. Yes, a full-on marriage proposal is in the works. Bethany's reaction is going to be crucial here, especially knowing the chaotic web her mother is currently tangled in. Kit is already putting down roots and acting like a family man, even having a touching moment with young Harry. When Harry sweetly admits that he genuinely likes having Kit around, Kit warmly reassures the boy that the feeling is completely mutual. It is a beautiful, wholesome moment that is almost certainly going to be shattered by the looming secret of Maria's suspicions. The tension finally boils over when a very somber-looking Maria approaches Gary. The look on her face says it all, and when she tells him that they really need to talk, Gary's stomach completely drops. Masking his severe unease and trying to play it cool, Gary nervously deflects, suggesting they meet up for a curry later to discuss whatever is on her mind. But we all know a simple dinner date isn't going to fix a broken foundation of trust. Gary is sweating bullets, and Maria is ready to demand the total truth. Finally, we have to talk about the heartbreaking and volatile situation between Nick and Ben. Initially, the two men actually manage to find some common ground. They sit down and start bonding over their recent struggles, sharing the heavy burden of trying to properly parent their young sons through difficult times. It feels like a moment of genuine connection, but that piece is shattered into a million pieces when Nick suddenly realizes the true, horrifying extent of Sam's suffering. The reality hits Nick like a ton of bricks, and his grief instantly morphs into pure, unadulterated anger. He lashes out at Ben, completely blaming him for turning a blind eye to Megan's dark behaviour. Nick screams that because Ben failed to spot Megan's unacceptable actions and the terrifying situations that led to those major accusations surfaced, Sam was forced to endure so much unnecessary pain. The confrontation is explosive, deeply emotional, and proves that the scars left behind by Megan's choices are far from healed. This street is absolutely overflowing with secrets, lies, and ticking time bombs, and you are not going to want to miss a single second of the fallout. Make sure you stay tuned, keep your eyes on the cobbles, and I will be right back here to break down every single shocking moment with you.